Well, we'd like to welcome everybody to the 2016-2017 beginning of the men's varsity Proctor Phantom season at the Bob Abrahamson Tip-Off Classic for 2016. This is our first night, and in our first game we have the Otter Valley Otters against the Mount St. Joseph Mounties, and with me as usual is Hall of Fame coach Wade Mitchell.
Glad to be here.
We got some early info on who the starters are going to be, so we'll run down that. Otter Valley is looking at starting Josh Letourneau, Dylan Mackey, Derek Ains, Payson Williams, and Tyler Peterson. And the Mounties will be going with Frank Tourney, Clay Drinwater, Kai Norwood, Darren Watler, and Jelani Williams.
I have a little insight on the Otters here. One of their better players, Derek Ames. I coached his father back years ago. I coached his sister back a few years ago, and I coached him. Well, so I guess the mother, somehow I missed her. I don't know what happened.
Well, and I have a little bit of insight on some of MSJ and Jelani Williams. I actually coached college basketball at the College of St. Joseph with Jelani's father, Mark.
Really?
Back for 3 years in the mid-'90s.
Yep.
And I've known Mark and his wife and Jelani for an awful long time. He has developed into a prospective college player, and I know people are getting looks at him. Of course, MSJ Division II contender this year.
Definitely.
And Otter Valley, I don't know if they're really going to be in the mix contending for a championship, but they are a scrappy bunch. They'll bring a lot of energy because they don't have a lot of height.
They'll be pressing all over the court and look for quickness from the Otters. And Ames can shoot the lights out on the three-pointer. I believe last year, this first game, he had 31 points.
Interestingly enough, Jelani Williams for MSJ, while he probably is the tallest or one of the tallest on the team, he tends to play a lot of point guard and two guard. But he's more of a slasher. He's not much of an outside shooter to speak of. But he'll tend to get his points and lead the break. And I think that's where they project him in college, is to be a 2 or a 3.
At this level, he's a monster on the boards. A real monster.
You would hope that, I know that he doesn't get down on the post very much, and he doesn't actually feel comfortable down there. But knowing his dad, they're planning for the next level as much as they are with what's going on here. So we'll turn it over to Jake Eaton, who will be announcing the starting lineups for both teams.
Tonight's first matchup features MSJ versus Otter Valley. First, the starting lineup for MSJ. Number 2, Frank Tourney. Number 12, Clay Drinwater. Number 14, Kai Norwood. Number 24, Darren Watler. Number 33, Jelani Williams. The Mounties are coached by Dave Randall, assisted by Chris Charbonneau, Mike McIsaac, and Nathan Trainer. Now the starting line for the Otters. Number 0, Josh Letourneau. Number 2, Dylan Mackey. Number 3, Derek Ains. Number 11, Payson Williams. And number 22, Tyler Peterson. The Otters are coached by Greg Hughes, and assisted by Mike Stark and Tom Hughes. Could you all please rise with your mask for playing the national anthem?
Nice job with the boys this year.
All right, always exciting to start off the varsity boys basketball season at the Abrahamson Tip-Off Classic. We have Otter Valley in the home whites going left to right, and the Mounties from MSJ in their away greens going right to left. Mounties win the tip. Here we go.
Straight man by the Otters. You can see a lot of that.
I think they were paying deference to the first row of the crowd, and turnover on the first pass of the game. Nice step in, mid-range jumper off the mark, and back comes MSJ. Another turnover for MSJ. Look a little bit confused in their offensive set, but again, my guess is this is also their first game of the year. So.
Oh yeah, yep.
Smaller, it's not that much smaller, but the smaller court at Proctor definitely has a difference, makes a difference when the players get bigger.
It seems that way.
They're able to trap and in the corners, and there's not as much room between the top of the key, and you see MSJ in a bit of a half-court trap. Good ball movement will resolve that, and that was a good shot there, but off the mark. Jelani Williams with the rebound and brings it up himself. Foul that time on Payson Williams. First foul of the game. Inbounds play well defended. And it looks like Otter Valley is now sunk into a zone off that out of bounds. Not that unusual. Deep three. Doesn't draw iron, but Williams on the rebounding action picks up another foul. And that again is Payson Williams' second foul very early. Getting ready to check into the game is Tyler Rowe, number 21 for the Otters. Williams misses the first.
Tyler Rowe, I believe, is the kid that came on in football for Otter Valley as a quarterback halfway through the year and really ignited him.
And Williams misses both of them. Rebound on the inside, however, by
Walters.
Number 24, Darren Wattler. Foul this time on number 2 as MSJ tries to turn up the half-court pressure. That's on Frank Tourney, his first. Little bit of a 1-3-1 type press, or trap rather. Three-pointer that time by
Derek
number 3,
Ames.
Derek Ames.
He can shoot it.
Absolutely. I believe last year in the first game of the Tip-Off Classic, he had 20 points at halftime.
Yeah, I think he ended up at 31 or 33.
That was a walk. They didn't catch it, but off the mark, and nice rebound that time. Ames again.
What?
Turnover. Mounties have had a number of turnovers in the first couple minutes of this game. Some on the pass. That one on the travel. Ball swung again, this time to Ames, and just off the mark. Soft rims at Proctor. Foul on number 4. Well, I'll wait for the call. Foul on 24.
Wattler.
And that's Wattler's. Oh, that's his first foul. Trap in the corner. You got to get the ball to the middle against this press. There you go. Now they're over half court with a 2-on-1. Step back, off the mark. Offensive rebound. Williams with another rebound. And the Otters still maintain a 3-2 lead with 4:54 left in the first quarter. Deep three. Tracked down by MSJ. Ball swung around the outside. They're looking for Jelani Williams on the inside, and for some reason they're not getting the ball in there. They looked like there were a couple of opportunities for a good entry pass, but that didn't happen. MSJ, of course, draws students from all over, and where some of the local schools, not being private schools, are going to have kids who've played together since 3rd and 4th grade. MSJ is bringing in new players every year, and sometimes early in the season, it's the continuity and the chemistry isn't quite there yet.
When I saw him walk in before the game, there can't be many boys that aren't playing basketball at MSJ.
Yeah, it's very, very small at this point, the school is, but
they carry a lot of big bench.
Okay, so ball inbound to MSJ. Swung around to Williams. Likes to go right and dishes. And one.
That was a set play from the timeout.
And that was Wattler with the 2. goes up strong and puts it in. Fouls on number 22, Tyler Peterson, his first. That was off the mark, and here come the Otters. Good ball fakes. That's 2 for
Mackey.
Dylan Mackey. Right now, Otter Valley's hanging right in there with MSJ. MSJ is considered one of the favorites in Division II.
Oh, I would think they would be. The Otters have to double team when the ball goes inside. There's no way they can match up with the 2 big men.
Again, I think the width and distance of the Proctor court plays to the advantage of MSJ given their length.
It could very well.
Ball picked off and over to Frank Tourney for 2. And the score's knotted at 6. Blocked that time by Wattler, and here comes Williams. I don't know why that entry pass isn't made, but now high pick and roll with Wattler and Williams. Williams trying to use his strength on the inside. Foul that time. And be on Tyler Peterson. That'll be his second. If I got that called right, I guess I should probably wait for
22.
Yeah, that's his second. And coming back into the game is Payson Williams. He already has 2 fouls. Williams hits the first. Breaks the tie with 3:03 left in the first quarter. Williams drains the second one. MSJ takes a 2-point lead. Otter Valley did a good job of getting the ball to the middle and then spreading the floor. Now they're in their offense. And that's Dylan Mackey again for 2.
Get back to back.
For 3, I'm sorry. And Otter Valley takes the lead, and here they come back again on the turnover. Mackey to the middle, little floater, doesn't quite fall. Nice soft shot, but a little bit off the mark, and back comes Williams. Little push off. Williams going left this time, all the way to the hoop. You really got to step in front of him and force him to run you over.
Yep. He's just too strong.
It's easier said than done, though. Kept that pivot foot down. Here's Ains.
3 straight.
Yep, and Dylan Mackey is on fire. You can make a lot of mistakes when all your shots are 3-pointers and they're going. Ty Norwood hits a 3, and here come the Otters again. Nice break of the press that time with a ball fake, and right by him on the baseline. That was not particularly good defense. You can't let somebody go baseline that easy.
Not as small as that kid is. He had the height on him big time.
Ains makes sure that that shot doesn't get up that time by Wattler, and but Wattler will go to the line for 2.
I have no problem with that foul. If you're going to foul, let it be known.
Absolutely.
Send a message.
Well, and even if the message isn't sent, make sure they don't get the 2.
Absolutely.
Hits the first. I watched the MSJ version of their AAU team a number of times this summer, and it seemed like there were a couple of kids that they thought they were going to get that I'm looking at the bench didn't end up there. And I know that a couple of them ended up in Poultney. Nice pass on the inside, stripped that time off of Tyler Rowe. And with the score knotted at 14 with 1:09 left. Back comes MSJ. That ball always looks like it comes out of his hands so nice. It almost looks like it's going down every time.
Yep.
And it usually is just a fraction off, if it ever is.
That's why you're in. Swing it, swing it. Swing the ball. Yep. We have plenty of time.
Deep three off the mark by Williams. Wattler with the rebound and off the mark with that. And here comes Otter Valley. This time more of a controlled break. Otter Valley pulls it out with 8 seconds left, looking for one shot. Good pass inside. This will bring the house down. And in fact, Wattler.
He was hammered.
Well, that was going back. Yeah, that was Ains, but that's going back to your original discussion. He made sure that shot was not going to reach the rim. 2-point try. That looked like a 3-point try to me, but I have to admit that I was slightly obstructed by the MSJ bench.
He's one kid that the Otter can't afford to lose.
Yeah, he's got some size on the boards and length for defending, and of course we know about his shooting ability. In general, basketball IQ.
Yeah.
As of right now, the trainers are attending to him.
He hasn't moved.
I think the game actually has gone a little bit. I didn't expect it to be a 14-14 game after one. And Otter Valley's hanging in there right now with 1 second left and going to the line, so there's good likelihood that they're going to take a lead if one of the two free throws goes down. So you got to give them some credit for hanging right in.
They've hit the threes and they counted. Mackey, he had 3 or 2?
Three threes for 9 points in the first quarter for Dylan Mackey. Looks like Ains is going to go to the line and
he's a tough kid.
Shoot him himself.
He's a tough kid.
I guess because he was out there, he can't shoot him.
Yeah, too long. And once the coach comes out, is that the rule?
Yeah, if they stop the game and you're attended to, then they have to bring somebody in to shoot him. Looks like Dylan Mackey's going to shoot him. I don't know the rule on this. I know in the pros, if you have to come out and somebody else has to shoot the shot for you. Well, but in the pros, the opposing coach gets to choose off the bench who's going to shoot. And I don't know in this case whether it was the actual sub who shot. I don't know who chose. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm mindful of a close game during one of Kendrick Perkins' early years with the Celtics in a playoff series against the Indiana Pacers, where he hadn't seen the light of day. It might have been his rookie year, and somebody got hurt. They called Perkins in off the bench, and well, he threw 2 bricks up there. Anyway,
That was Sam Perkins.
Kendrick Perkins.
Kendrick.
Yeah. In any event, quarter ends with
The Otters up by
Otter
1.
Valley and probably up by 1 over MSJ.
Never would have guessed it.
Well, you know, you shoot the ball well. It keeps you in a lot of games.
Turnovers, they kept them down.
Now, but yeah, absolutely. And MSJ has returned the favor, committing a number of turnovers in that first quarter.
Especially early.
Right, there were 3 consecutive ones, and then 2 more that I remember on traveling calls. And but you know, that's why they play the games.
That's right. Another one of my former players here to my immediate right, trying to keep the stats the way they should be.
Team on 3, 1, 2, 3, team.
Never forget him. We played Rutland at Rutland, and he came up a runner on third, and what does he do? Bang! Hard shot to left. Won the game.
You know, if we went around
Right,
here,
Randall?
if we went around here and tried to point out every single person you coached, I don't think we'd be talking in the game and be over
We
for
would be.
2 hours. Josh Letourneau out top. Over to Tyler Rowe. High post. High pick and roll. Otter Valley taking their time. Ains back in the game.
I like
by
this
the way.
right here. I like it.
I know.
Look for the good shot.
You're up 1, and MSJ is sitting in the zone. Work it until you get something good. Now that's a good shot out of that set, and put back up and in.
It's called patience
by
right
Payson
there.
Williams.
32. Get there, stay there, Phil, show.
Otter Valley now with a 3-point lead, and MSJ back with their first possession. Another turnover that time. I'll be honest, looked like a blocking foul to me, but
Well, I was going to say I would have had a travel call there.
and that's what they did call. So you were all over it.
Yeah.
But back comes Dylan Mackey, right around the jump circle at center court. Ains with a.
You don't want to give that to him.
You know, and sometimes when you get knocked on your butt, you come back and just kind of shake something loose. We'll see if that happens for Ains. He was close for most of the first quarter, but didn't hit one. And
Oh, wow.
OV again, this time Josh Letourneau for 3. And now Otter Valley's opened up a 9-point lead. Now I'm mindful of last year's game between these two, and Otter Valley was up by 20 at halftime.
Yeah.
And MSJ came back to win that game. So you don't want to get too excited. Sometimes MSJ, you believe your own press clippings and believe you're a contender before you've won a game. But eventually, as far as I can tell, for the most part, talent wins.
It does.
Not that there can't be a surprise every now and then, and this would be a big one if Otter Valley was able to pull off a victory here. And there's Ains inside, in and out.
He's been all over that net all night.
Just doesn't seem that MSJ really.
They've lost their composure right now.
A little bit, and their outside shooting is not matching up right now with Otter Valley.
No.
Of course, by the time the season's over, OV may end up playing, possibly at least, playing Proctor 3 times.
Yep.
Another offensive rebound by the Otters.
They're just plain hell hustling them.
Every possession's so important when you're playing MSJ.
Yep.
And so far, the rolls and possessions have been going to the Otters. Williams all the way to the hoop.
Can't give that to him.
That's a very easy.
You got to force him baseline.
Or to the help in the middle, but
Yep.
you can't give him that direct line where he can just do a finger roll.
Oh my goodness.
Another one by Letourneau. If you're going to hit threes all night, it could be a very long night.
10-point lead.
0? Okay, hold on. No, I don't know.
Williams gets all the way
Gotta
to
get some
the
weak
hoop
side
that
help
time.
there. You gotta, that low man's gotta shift into the.
You know, given the fact that they don't seem to go into the post and they don't hit the three that well, it'd be a good idea to just flash trap the ball whenever it gets in Williams' hands at the top. At least it'll force him to give it up.
Yep.
You got to get somebody in that high post. High post and a couple of cuts off it, and he's going to put it up from there. It's only a matter of time. Oh, off of Letourneau that time.
Yep. There's 2 turnovers in a row here.
Well, or at least it was a turnover sandwich with a three-pointer in the middle, but so here comes Williams again.
Same thing again.
That's where I think if they were able to flash double team whoever has the ball on the outside, it doesn't look like MSJ is getting the ball inside at all except for on the drive off the dribble.
Any level that I ever played or coached in, I was always told, you can't win without a postman. And I firmly believe it.
And the post person doesn't have to be a scorer.
He doesn't have to be. He draws attention.
All they have to do is be a facilitator.
That's exactly right.
Play inside out, look at the opposite block, look at the opposite elbow. But this offense is interesting to me only in that there is no post at all.
And there's no set play there. I mean, you get the ball and drive. Before the game is over, I think you're going to see him go to a post play. Actually, having a postman opens everything up. So many options.
It just allows you to spread the floor, if nothing else, even if you don't get it into him.
Yep.
And really, it doesn't even matter if the post is in the low post or on the foul line. It just as long as you're drawing that attention. Well, here we go back after the timeout. Otter Valley with the ball. And the lead by 6. 3:17 left in the first quarter. Try a little weave. Ball out to Mackey, and boy, just off. It's not like he can't get his shot off, because he definitely is. Part of that right there is Otter Valley has to pick him up much earlier. Steal on the inbounds. Now the ball's inside, but it was a decent dig down by the Otter Valley defender. Letourneau out top. High post.
Boy, he's off.
Just off. That's what you need to do to stop that drive. You make sure you stop
right
it
out there.
early. It's tough when they got a head of steam up. Anybody. Jelani Williams with the jump shot. If he gets that going, you're in trouble because that's not generally his game.
8-0 run here.
And back to within 2 points with 1:32 left in the half. You notice the fouls have kind of silenced in the last 5 minutes. Steal that time. Under pressure, Letourneau seems to have some trouble running the point.
Yep.
But here comes Ains. Dribbles the ball well for a big guy. .112. It looks like Otter Valley may be looking to take some time off the clock, maybe even go for one shot with a minute left. Well, boy, that was
way off.
And you know, that just wasn't a smart play.
It's a 10-0 run right now for the Mounties.
And again, the MSJ player was able to get up ahead of steam before he even got to half court. And that's very difficult to defend.
And Williams was tracking the ball all the way.
White ball.
On the tie-up, it's Otter Valley possession with 31 seconds left. May as well use your timeout, I think, at this point in the half and say, look, we're going to get one.
Yep.
Spread out the floor, put somebody at the foul line so you have an outlet. Cut off them. There you go. And draws a pushing foul on number 14 for the Mounties. That's Kai Norwood.
That Norwood first.
Am I wrong? Did Kai Norwood go to Otter Valley last year?
What?
I thought, did he transfer?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on Otter Valley net last year. So maybe a little extra incentive. Go all the. Ooh.
Now see.
Now he got pushed.
I don't like that call.
He actually got pushed into the back
pushed
court.
over back
Yeah,
court.
he absolutely did.
He didn't make the push call, and he blew the right call.
Well, refs can make mistakes also, but that was in fact, he probably could have just let that ball go into the back court, but he caught it in the front court and then did obviously get pushed into the back court.
No doubt about it.
Well, tie score with 8 seconds left. Now it's down to 7. Williams looks to go one-on-one and travels. Those turnovers.
3 seconds.
The turnovers have actually helped keep Otter Valley in the game. I don't know why they give the ball out of bounds under the hoop in that circumstance. I think it should be
have been
over
up here. You're right.
Should have been over on the side. That'll make a difference with 3 seconds left. Everything else went in for him. That was
just like a brand new game in the second half.
Once I get a chance to take a look at the scorebook, I'll give you some halftime scores.
In the professional scene today, I heard somebody talking that some announcer passed away.
Yeah, Craig Sager.
Yep.
He's been battling leukemia for the last couple of years.
Well, he was only 65.
Yeah, and he had known for his wild jackets and
Yep.
ties, and
Yep.
had been doing NBA games forever.
Yep.
Really well liked by everybody.
Yeah, everything.
All set there, Randy?
He's just adding up the MSJ scores. But we do have a tie game at halftime, and I bet you if we, if you asked me 16 minutes ago of playing time at least.
I don't think many people would have predicted that.
I wouldn't have.
No?
I wouldn't have.
Randy, you all done with that?
And we just want to take a
Just
look at
wants
the
it.
book here. And, I got you. Just want to go over some of the scoring at halftime. Looks like with 5 threes, Dylan Mackey has 15 at half. Derek Gaines has 6 points. Payson Williams has 4, and Patrick McKeegan has 1 for 26 for Otter Valley. And MSJ, Frank Tourney with 2, Kai Norwood with 7, Darren Watler with 5, and Jelani Williams with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and for 26. So I look forward to a very similar kind of second half, and really I think what's ultimately going to make the difference, if Otter Valley shoots the ball, they'll stay in the game.
Win the game.
If they can't, if they don't shoot the ball, it's going to be a problem, I think. All right, so we'll be back with you.
303.
Teams switch sides, and Otter Valley will be going right to left, and MSJ and the away greens going left to right. MSJ will have the first possession of the half, and it's a brand new ball game.
Brand new ball game. That's what the low post people do for you.
Yep, Kai Norwood with the hoop, but that was actually developed by Jelani Williams posting up and then popping out of that post. Drew the attention. There was a nice cut off the post, and Otter Valley returns the favor. Payson Williams with another bucket. MSJ is just very strong. They get the shoulder into the chest of the defender and just create space.
Their mind's already made up.
Zone out of bounds for Otter Valley, and MSJ runs the first play that every kid learns out of bounds from 4th grade on. That time the spacing of the court worked to the advantage of the Otters. I think that the smaller Proctor court keeps MSJ from getting out and running as much as they would on a bigger court. On the change of possession, the ball goes over to the Otters. MSJ had the ball out of bounds at halftime.
Green ball.
High screen and roll. Ball handling out front over to Letourneau. Letourneau gets in a bit of a problem when he starts to get out top because his left hand isn't particularly strong and he gets trapped. Here comes Jelani Williams. And good play that time.
Excellent
getting back
play.
on defense by Derek Gaines.
Thought he might have had all ball.
puts Jelani Williams on the foul line. Otter Valley coach imploring the referee to say that it was a cut-all ball. I'll be honest, I didn't see it, but the ref seemed pretty adamant that he did see that one. So, you know, he must have saw it with his good eye. That's all I can figure. Off Watler, out of bounds. Battling there by Tyler Peterson. Peterson's a tall guy. He's one of the few, him and Ains, who can match up height-wise with MSJ. Holding foul on the outside. Side out of bounds to the Otters. 2 screens away. Now you got Letourneau at the top. Reach in by Watler that time. That might be his third.
How many is that on him, Watler?
24.
That is his third.
You need him.
Another side out of bounds. Letourneau rotates out top. Looked like Otter Valley wanted to get into the flex for a second and didn't quite get there. But they maintain possession. This has been an awkward 15 seconds that have taken about 3 minutes. Tyler Peterson off the mark. I do notice when Ains gets inside, he does get a little tentative.
Yeah.
He feels much more comfortable in his mid-range and three-point game.
Yep, no doubt about it. He's strong.
Jelani Williams that
Very
time.
strong.
Strong to the hoop with the right hand. And MSJ extends to a 3-point lead. Kickball that time. Seems so far in the first couple of minutes of the third quarter that the Otters have had trouble getting into their offense. Active hands by MSJ, and even though MSJ has picked up a couple of fouls, it's probably as the result of increased intensity as much as anything else. A lot of out of bounds plays. Letourneau now out top. Crosses over to the left and hits a little floater. Brings the Otters to win 1.
Seems like in college ball we're seeing that floater a lot more than we ever did.
3-pointer that time by number 14.
Norwood.
Was that Kai Norwood?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Kai Norwood. Somehow the Otters tend to get these offensive rebounds.
Come down.
Now MSJ is coming back with a 4-point lead and the ball. 4:17 left in the third. Ains tracks it down and takes it up himself. Now over to Letourneau. You know, honestly, it didn't look like a travel.
I couldn't see if it was a travel, but
Looked to me like his pivot foot was down. Sometimes I believe this, and I think that we see it. Referees anticipate calls as much as they see them. And if it starts to look a little awkward, then all of a sudden it is what they anticipate.
the Otters need a timeout here. They're flat. Ames has got to touch the ball more.
I don't think Letourneau's actually presenting enough of a threat from the point guard position. If he's standing there waiting to run the play and they aren't putting pressure on him, he's got to go to the hoop and draw it and kick. If he diddles around out there, shot outside. Good hustle that time. Ains again, right where you'd like to see him have it. Otter Valley is doing all of the right things except for putting the ball in the hoop.
Put the ball in the hole.
Coach, hold on.
Foul that time on Payson Williams. I believe that's his third.
How many on 11? Say 3.
MSJ's size and talent at this point is starting to wear down the Otters a little bit. MSJ putting pressure in the backcourt with a 9-point lead. Otters take a timeout, see if they can regroup a little bit. You know, they come back and hit a three or another hoop. They're not out of this game by any stretch, but
no, they're flat right now. They're not moving, and Ames has got to get the ball more, even though he's not hitting.
Yeah, because you know eventually he's going to.
Oh, yes.
And he can go on streaks. I mean, I've seen in years past, he'll hit 4 or 5 threes in a row.
Yep.
And you know, it doesn't matter where when he starts to get hot, where he shoots it from.
I think so.
Looking at MSJ, the interesting thing that I see, the thing that they're winning this game right now on pure size and athletic talent.
Yep.
I see no discernible offense whatsoever. Like if I were scouting this game and trying to figure out what kind of system they're running, I would say no system.
No.
You know, give the ball to Jelani Williams and let him go one-on-one. And if he kicks it, someone's going to jack up a three, and we'll try to get something off the boards to put back. But you know, eventually, I think against a well-coached up team, that isn't going to work. Or a team with equivalent talent, at least. I actually think Otter Valley is doing a very good job hanging in there.
Yeah, they are.
Foul that time on number 13 for the Mounties. That is, I actually think that's Clay Drinwater. They have him as number 12 in the program.
Switch everything.
Good ball pressure by Delshawn Norwood. Ains going to the hoop and drawing some punishment. It actually seems like whenever he gets the ball and goes to the hoop, they're more than happy to put him on his butt and put him on the line. I mean, he's a great free throw shooter. So but I do think it's making him a little skittish trying to get there in the middle. And they pulled, Otter Valley pulls back within 7 points, with 1:49 left in the third.
Otter need a hoop right here.
Got a few bench players in for both sides at this point, giving some rest.
The others have had 4 or 5 of those in their hands and out.
This looked to me like it went off an Otter that time, but I guess the call went the other way, and here they come back. Just running that flex. As you know from my prior commentary, I can't stand the flex. It's the easiest offense in the world to frustrate all, and especially if you have size. All you have to do is switch on every screen, and the whole purpose of it is defeated. That comes MSJ running and extends the lead to 9, but Otter Valley comes right back and returns the favor, closing it to 7. Shot that time by number 14, Kai Norwood. 17 seconds. They're going to try to go for 1. Down 10. Delshawn Norwood, a little bit too aggressive with the ball pressure up top. It's only his first foul, but it may put Otter Valley into the bonus early in the half. 10 seconds left. Gets swallowed up on the inside. Shot at the buzzer, off the mark. And what was a tie game at halftime is now an MSJ 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter. I think basically what we saw is the size and strength of MSJ starting to assert itself.
Wear them down.
Yeah, absolutely. You also saw Payson Williams picked up a third foul early in that quarter and had to come out, and he's one of the battlers on the board. He's not super tall, but he's a strong kid, and he was getting a lot of offensive rebounds, and that went away in the second part of that quarter.
Again, Otter looked flat for some reason, and again, they aren't getting the ball to Ames in a position where he can shoot the ball.
Yeah, I think that one of those reasons why Otter Valley might look a little flat is MSJ.
They're quicker. They're anticipating.
They're starting to kind of feel their oats a little bit, and hey, first game for both teams.
Hey, when you make them, it changes the whole complexion.
Yeah, and you look bad when you aren't hitting shots, and you look better than you are when you are hitting them. So. Jelani does not like it down there on the block.
No.
In a lot of ways, he's very similar to Taylor Ains. A taller guy, but he'd prefer to slash. He'd prefer to up and under. Nice move, just didn't get there. Referees conferring and confirming the possession over to MSJ. Good to see Frank Tourney for MSJ back in the game. He took a hit to the knee early in the first half and then was out for a while, but he's returned.
Oh, he had Ames on the layup.
Now that's one of the ways the game has changed since the time I was playing in high school and in college, is that it's perfectly acceptable to kick for a three-pointer and give up the layup.
Yep.
Some coach would have your head if you did that 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
MSJ now matching the Otters. And Otters can't afford to match hoops.
No.
Another three-pointer by Dylan Mackey. And he's really been an incredible bright
spot. He's had a great night.
Yeah, absolutely.
17 points. There's travel.
Now he walked that time, that's for sure. But nice catch. Haynes for three. Just off the mark. You know, it looks like he's just short-arming it a little. Not a full follow-through. And that'll get you short shots. .552 left. MSJ maintaining a 10-point lead. That's tough when they're hanging right on your left hand.
Yep.
Kai Norwood with another hoop. Nice crossover that time. Kai Norwood seems to be taking special pride in putting it to his old teammates, because he's had a heck of a game himself.
He got
three.
What's the number?
He's filling it up there.
1, 2, 3, 9. Boy, 22.
It's funny too, I remember last year he seemed to have a little trouble staying on the floor for the Otters. Now he's coming back with 22.
Sending a message.
Missed the easy one, but gets the rebound back and puts himself at the line. A 12-point lead for MSJ with 2 to come from the line for Jelani Williams. He hits the second, and here comes Letourneau. Letourneau for 3. Brings Otter Valley back to within 10. It's not really the scoring that's the problem. It's the fact that they can't seem to stop MSJ down this end.
Yep.
Turnover that time by Williams, and Otter Valley has the opportunity to cut the lead to under 10 for the first time.
Matching baskets don't help. You gotta put the stop on down this end.
Oh, I missed one out there, and I thought that Otter Valley only had 4 on the floor, but I guess they do have all 5. Little weave out top. Letourneau off the mark. And Ains gets one on the inside. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yep.
Sometimes all you got to do is put one in to let you know that it's going to go. So it's down to 8. Approximately 3 minutes. Well,
A lot
3
of
minutes,
time
58
left.
seconds, absolutely. And this is one of the interesting things about high school basketball, however, no shot clock in Vermont. And this game, to be honest, if I were coaching, would be over right now. MSJ would be getting, be looking at layups and only layups. And they can chase you around for 4 minutes for all I care.
Little eardrop in here. The MSJ bench. And 5 passes before any shot is going to be taken. I like that.
Smart basketball.
Yep.
And it's important that teams, even under these circumstances, learn how to close out games. They're going to have tougher opponents than Otter Valley this year. And, it might be 4-point lead with 3 minutes left that they have to preserve, not a 10-point lead. And it's going to be against better competition, so you better learn how to do it now before the situation gets more difficult.
All right,
I think Otter Valley in that, you got to get right up. If you can't touch them right now, you're too far away.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's one of those no, good. So you can get that shot anytime.
Oh yeah.
You can get that. You can get a 3-pointer 25 feet from the hoop anytime you want it. OV's got to get some shots up. I know they're trying to work the ball, but there's not enough time.
They can't go 5 passes.
No, they got to get shots up. And there's 2. Cuts the lead to 8. Actually, looks like 9. They got to get right up in them. And a turnover that time by MSJ. That's what they need. It starts with 1 stop. Now they got to get a shot up pretty quick and get another stop.
No. Boy.
Just not there tonight.
He's had his shots.
Otter Valley putting pressure on, but got to get right up on them. Just the size and strength on the boards is killing them. 3 offensive rebounds.
Yeah. There's a floater.
And MSJ with the defense the last couple times down has actually forced OV to take enough time off the clock where it's just working against them.
Yep. They got them playing their game now.
That's the first semblance of a play that I've actually seen. High pick and roll that time. And I actually do think that he wasn't there on that one. He stepped in when Watler was already in the air. If I were coaching, I'd be yelling, but I wouldn't be believing it. Yeah, Watler was definitely in the air before Letourneau got in underneath him. That didn't look so good.
Need the best head. Run out.
Question is not whether the hoop went in.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Go with a jump ball.
All right, so what we have going on here is that the original shot went in on the foul. Ref kind of missed that, and and he asked for 2 free throws to be taken. First one was missed, and on what would be a jump ball or alternating possession, the ball goes over to the Otters. The hoop is good. Nothing else matters, and OV brings the ball down with 1:09 left, down by 13. But we do have convening of the United Nations here in front of our broadcast position. OV coach should be happy enough with that under the circumstances, but down 13, looking for any edge you can get.
Oh, yeah.
Tough spot because OV's just has to look for threes. MSJ knows it, and they're just guarding the three-point line. They're daring them to just get the ball inside and trying to recover.
Where he gets off the ground, the floor.
Absolutely. Darren Watler with the hoop. That shot off the mark. Dylan Mackey has had a great game. Otter Valley played very tough, but they're going to go down by 15, and that'll be the end of this one with 7 seconds left. We count it down, and MSJ will take the first game of the Abrahamson Tip-Off Classic.
I think Norwood ended up at 25. Kind of a thank you, Otter Valley.
Well, my son actually played with Delshawn Norwood on a AAU team for a number of years. They won a number of AAU tournaments around, and there was a real question about where he was going to go to school. I think he was at Otter Valley last year, and then this year he moved over with his brother to MSJ. Now that would have been an interesting team, wouldn't it have?
It would have, yeah.
Nevertheless, it isn't, and it wasn't, and and MSJ comes away with a 15-point win.
Yep. It was pretty much all MSJ the second half. They
and it was about what I expected.
Yep.
The first half was a bit of a surprise. Give credit to Otter Valley for hanging in there. Shot the ball very well.
Yep.
Played decent defense, and was right in the game.
Otter Valley has nothing to be ashamed of. They played them as well as they were capable, I think.
I agree with you. Now we'll take a little bit of a break and come back for game number 2 in about 20 minutes.
There you go.